All right, so we're going to get into our solving equations, our most basic. So here's what we're going to do. The first thing I want you to understand is you cannot just try to figure out what x is and then put it in here. So you got to show this work. These are steps. We're going to take small little steps along the way. Here's what you need to do. So here's my equation. I need to get x all by itself. So when we've done our board stuff before, we kind of had this idea that I've got a left side, like this is my left side, and this is my right side. So on my left side, I kind of had an X tile, and then over here, I had 5 positives. So we're going to think about this: positive, 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 5 of them. And then over here, I've got 5 positive 11s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, you're not going to do this for everything. I just want you to understand how we're doing it. So we've got, this is like our board that we've been using in class. This is the middle. Here's my left side. Here's my right side. I want to get this x all by itself. So this x, we want to be the only thing on my left-hand side. So if you remember, we had something where we could, one of our legal moves was we could add the same thing to both sides. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 5 negatives to this side. Now remember, if I add 5 negatives to this side, I also have to add 5 negatives to this side. So this is a legal move because I'm doing the same thing to both sides. Now, look what happens. These all become 0 pairs and they go away. So we can take those right off the board. They're gone. Notice what I just did. I just got this x all by itself. Now, these all become 0 pairs. And notice what we have. So those are all gone. So notice what we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positives. And then on the left-hand side, all we have is an x. Because of that legal move that we talked about last Friday of adding the same thing to both sides. So when you do this worksheet today, here's what you need to do. You're going to add the same thing to each side. So I want to get this x all by itself. And so if I think of this as kind of being a line, the equal sign is a line, what can I do to get this x all by itself? So you're going to add a -5 to this side. Now remember, to keep it legal, if I add a -5 here, I also have to add a -5 over here. Now, look what happens. On the left-hand side, 0 pairs. They're gone. We now have x all by itself equals, now on the right-hand side, 11 and -5 give me +6, which is exactly what I thought that I should get. This is the work that I have to see for every single problem. So if I'm going to do this one, remember, this splits us up into my right side and left side, my equal sign does. I want to get the x all by itself. So I want to get rid of this +20 here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to add a -20 to this side because that will cancel them out. Now remember, if I add a -20 to this side, I also have to add a -20 to this side. Now, on my left-hand side, 0 pairs, they're gone. All I have is x on the left, my equal sign. Over here, 45 and -20 is now a +25. So I know that x equals +25. This is the work I have to see on your notebook paper. When I do the next problem, okay, the equal sign cuts my thing into 2 pieces. So that's my left side, my right side. I want to get y all by itself. Now this time, to get y all by itself, we need to add a +4 to this side. So I add a +4 because that's going to be my 0 pairs. If I add a +4 to this side, I have to add the exact same thing to this side. This is that work that I have to see. I don't need to see this line. I just show you that so we have the left side, right side idea. But I need to see what you're adding to both sides. I'm adding a +4 to both sides. You need to see that on your paper. Now when I simplify this, there's my 0 pair. On the left, all I have is y. On the right, I now have a +4 and a +4 and a +9. So y equals 13. So as you are doing your homework, here's what I have to see. It needs to be done on notebook paper. Like if this is my notebook paper over here, I'm going to write down the problem. U plus 7 equals 2. All right. In my mind, I'm thinking that this cuts my board into right side and left side. I'm going to add a -7 to this side because that will give me a 0 pair. Then I have to do the exact same thing on the right-hand side. Bring down my equal sign. On the left, there's my 0 pairs. I just have u. 2 plus -7 is now a -5. So I know that u equals a -5. And of course, we're going to put our letter W up here with the -5. All right, I'm going to do one more. So let's say I'm doing this one down here. So I'm going to write down my problem. -18 plus a equals -8. All right. So the equal sign cuts my problem into two sides, a left side and a right side. I want to get this a all by itself. So I have to add the opposite. So the opposite of a -18 is a +18. If I add a +18 on this side, I have to do the exact same thing over here. Now, get me out of the way. All right. I like to start with my equal sign on the left-hand side. That's this over here. There's my 0 pairs. All I have is a. +18, -8 gives me a +10. So I know that a equals 10. This is the work I have to see for every single problem on notebook paper. Do not just go in and say, oh, I know this one n has to be 11. I agree, but I've got to see that work where you add a -6 to this side. That gets the n by itself. And the same thing over here. Put down my equal sign. On the left, there's my 0 pairs. On the left, I just have n now. 17 plus -6 is 11. Exactly what I thought I should get. So that's the work that I have to see.